All right, family. All right. How we doing tonight? Hopefully everyone is doing wonderful. I'm gonna try to get into a quick message right fast. This message, family, it's been on my heart for a couple of days now. As I go through the close of Feast of Tabernacle, I have spent a few nights in the backyard, out in the tent. Um, Had an incident where the zipper on the tent got stuck and it would not seal up. So it rained the last couple of days. So I had to cut my time short, a couple of days short. But it is what it is. I'll make sure I'm better prepared next year, as I did last year. It's better success from last year. So again, we continue to study, we continue to learn, we continue to grow, so we can really fully understand not only why but how do we keep the high holy feast days. So in my efforts and in my studies, hopefully the Most High will continue to allow me to grow and learn and be guided by the Ruach. So anyway, fam, so with that being said, let me start off by giving all glory and honor to the creator of the universe, Yahweh, and to his son Yahsara'al. I'd like to also send out my humble gratitude to the forefathers Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and our foremother Sarah. And I also like to send out a special greeting to the brothers and sisters that are trying to reach and teach the very elect. So with that being said, family, let me start off. Let's start off in the book of Romans. Let's start off in the book of Romans. Romans chapter 15, verse 4. For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope. So again, dealing with the high holy days, the last three high holy days, of dealing with the fall season, the seventh month, which many people think September is the ninth month. So with that, going back and looking at scriptures and not only following the word of the Most High, listen to his commandments and his statute, but trying to get an understanding why we keep the high holy days. We through the things that are written help give us understanding, and hope, and things of that nature. So let's go to Numbers, the ninth chapter. Numbers chapter 9. Numbers chapter 9. Start off at verse 1. And Yahweh spoke unto Moses in the wilderness of Sinai in the first month of the second year after they were come out of the land of Egypt, saying, let the children of Israel also keep the Passover at its appointed time, at the appointed season, Salakia, in the 14th day of the first month at evening. You shall keep it in its appointed seasons, according to all that is right of it, and according to all the ceremonies thereof, shall ye keep it. And Moses spoke unto the children of Israel that they should keep the Passover, and keep the Passover on the 14th day of the first month at even in the wilderness of Sinai, according to the commandments that Yahweh commanded Moses. So did the children of Israel. Now understand, that's talking about Passover, but the significant part that I wanted to get out that was they were in the wilderness. And I know most people probably were saying, well, if you're keeping the last 3 festivals while you're reading something that's pertaining to the first of the feast days, which is Passover? Well, the significance of that is they were in the wilderness. So I wanted to draw a correlation between the first set of feast days and the last set of feast days. So we could tie this together to make it all make sense. So again, for those brothers and sisters that may not have known that, just give a little clarity, right? Okay, so let me go to Ezekiel chapter 20. Ezekiel chapter 20. Ezekiel chapter 20. Verse 33. As I live, says Yahweh Elohim, surely with a mighty hand and with a stretched out arm and with fury poured out, will I rule over you, and I will bring you out from the people and gather you out of the countries wherein ye are scattered, with a mighty hand and with a stretched out arm and with fury poured out. And I will bring you into the wilderness. So again, he will bring them into the wilderness, bring the children of Israel into the wilderness. The wilderness of the people, and there I will plead with you face to face, like as I pleaded with your fathers in the wilderness in the land of Egypt. So will I plead with you, says Yahweh Elohim. So again, that's why I read that. That's why I read Numbers chapter 9, because just like the Most High did with our ancestors in the wilderness of Sinai, He's going to do with us in the wilderness of the country that we're scattered abroad into, right? So I just wanted to draw a correlation with that to kind of make it kind of tie them together. So the reason understand why we keep the high holy days, it's just not a memorial, but he's also preparing us for the second coming, right? So okay, I tell you what, let's go to Leviticus. Let's go to Leviticus chapter 23. Leviticus chapter 23, right? Leviticus chapter 23. And instead of going over, starting off at 1, which we know from 1 on down will give us about Passover, let's jump over to verse 23. And Yahweh spoke to Moses, saying, speak unto the children of Israel, saying, in the 7th month, which we're, going, we numbered most of the months. We didn't have a name for every month in the scriptures. I mean, there's a name for a few of the months, but the reader priests really kept it. They, in order to keep them out of paganism, they didn't have all these pagan names like a lot of these monks have right about now. But anyway, that's a whole nother subject. Okay, verse 24. Speaking to the children of Israel, saying, in the 7th month, in the first day of the month, shall ye have a Sabbath, a memorial blowing of trumpets, a holy convocation. Ye shall do no servile work therein, but ye shall offer an offering made with fire unto Yahweh. And Yahweh spoke unto Moses, saying, also on the 10th day of the 7th month, there shall be a day of atonement. It shall be a holy convocation unto you. And ye shall afflict your souls, and offer an offering made with fire unto Yahweh. And ye shall do no work therein the same day. And you shall do no work in that same day, for it is a day of atonement, to make an atonement for you before Yahweh your Elohim. Okay, for whatsoever soul it be that shall not afflict, be afflicted in the same day, he shall be cut off from among his people. And whatsoever soul it be that doeth any work in the same day, the same soul will I destroy from among his people. Let's jump on down for time's sake, and we're going to jump down to verse, that's 33. And Yahweh spoke unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, The 15th day of the 7th month ye shall have a feast of tabernacles, for 7 days unto Yahweh. On the first day ye shall it shall be a holy convocation. Ye shall do no servile work therein. 7 days ye shall offer an offering made with fire unto Yahweh. And on the 8th day shall be an holy convocation unto you. And ye shall offer an offering made by fire unto Yahweh. It is a solemn assembly, and ye shall do no servile work therein. These are the feasts of Yahweh, which ye shall proclaim to be holy convocations, to offer an offering made by fire unto Yahweh, a burnt offering and a meat offering, and a sacrifice and a drink offering, everything upon his day. So again, so in the seventh month we have the feast of we have the memorial of blowing the trumpets, we have the Day of Atonement, and we have the Feast of Tabernacles, right? And these are holy convocations. These are appointed times for the Most High, right? So let's jump over to verse 41. And ye shall keep the feast unto Yahweh 7 days in the year. Okay, it shall be a statute forever in your generations. Ye shall celebrate. You shall celebrate it in the 7th month. Ye shall dwell in booths 7 days. All that are Israelite born shall dwell in booths, that your generation may know that I made the children of Israel dwell in booths. When I brought them out of the land of Egypt, I am Yahweh, Yahsara'al. So again, that's why we do the Feast of Booths. So again, it's not only commanded, but also to memorialize what our ancestors did during the Passover when they met with the Most High face to face, because He's getting us prepared when He bring us into the wilderness, that we may be prepared to meet with the Most High face to face. All right. So again, family, I hope everybody's really getting that. It's kind of sad that a lot of our family members and friends and associates that we see out there in the world, they would rather deal with pagan rituals and chase goons and goblins and stuff like that, and paganism and Saturnalia and Janus and stuff like that. And then to come and worship the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, right? The power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, which are essentially our power. You know what I'm saying? But we would give power to the demonic spirits of this world. But anyway, family, let's get one more. Let's go to one more scripture. We're gonna go to let's go to Zechariah. Let's go to Zechariah. Okay, Zechariah chapter 14, family. Zechariah chapter 14. I'm going to start off at verse 16. And it shall come to pass that everyone that is left of all the nations which come to Jerusalem shall even go up from year to year to worship the King, Yahweh of hosts, and to keep the Feast of Tabernacle. And if it be that whoso will not come up of the families of the earth to Jerusalem to worship the King, Yahweh of hosts, even upon them shall be no rain. And if the families of Egypt go not up and come not, that have no rain, there shall be the plagues wherewith Yahweh shall smite the heathen that come not up, and to keep the Feast of Tabernacle. This is this shall be the punishment of Egypt and the punishment of all the nations that come not up to keep the Feast of Tabernacle. So again, family, just wanted to go over that right fast, really try to go through this real short, and just send out this message, and hopefully it inspired, encourage somebody. Again, I'm just like most of us. We're trying to do our best to really learn, not only to keep the Most High's statutes and commandments in His Word, but also to understand why we do it and take pride into it. You know, take the feast days with a lot of pride and humility as well. You know, understanding some of the challenges our forefathers, our ancestors went through. You know, so anyway, family. Again, just want to share that with you guys. Hopefully, again, like I said, hopefully inspire somebody. And you know, again, with that being said, peace, love, shalom.